So my OCD ended up being so bad that I ended up dropping out of college for a semester and going into like a treatment center in a hospital for a month. And while I was there, we did, you know, a bunch of group therapy, individualized therapy, just like a lot of like mini classes, if you will. And I found all of my notes when I went home last month from the hospital, and I thought that we could go through it together. There is a lot in here, so I'm obviously just going to show you the stuff that matters. Gosh, looking at this stuff is so funny because I used to have a lot of compulsions around writing, which is funny because I literally write the longest captions now, and I write in my journal all the time, and I can read books without, you know, having to reread pages or reread lines or focus on a word for a long period of time, or every single time I turn the page I have to have a clean thought. Like, that's all gone now for me, right? So just looking back at the way I used to write, very weird patterns. It's so you can just see I write the least amount of words that you need to do. And sometimes I would like run words together, like, okay, here, like have, you know, you can barely see it. So I just like kind of scribble it. Oh, that's so interesting. This one I would have had to go over the T a few times because you can see that that's a bit darker than everything else. Do you see how short my sentences are? Because I'm so scared to write any unnecessary word. Read a page every day. We had to fill out this sheet every day at the end of the day, and you can just see how short and concise all of my answers are because I didn't want to mess it up. I didn't want to jinx it. One positive thing that happened to me today, I had a good exposure. I wouldn't go into what the exposure was. One positive thing that happened to me today, ate granola. That was definitely not the most positive thing that happened to me that day. I was so scared to jinx it that I wouldn't write anything else. This kind of stuff is almost all the same. I also had a goal. This goal, I am a very like all or nothing person. So I would go into the group therapy circle every single morning. They were like, what exposures are you trying not to do today? And I'd be like, all of them. And everyone was like, okay, well, what specifically? I'm like, no, all of them. I'm not just focusing on what I'm doing at all. Like, I was very all or nothing, but I did it. Like, I did as much as I could. And so I would try to like resist 98% of the compulsions. I said I did. I don't think I actually did, but I felt like if I just believed it until it was true kind of thing. And that's what I'm seeing over and over and over again. Oh, 97%. Interesting. They gave us, this one's blank, but this is like exposure hierarchy. You would put the situation and then you would rank it how high triggered your OCD. This is a values worksheet. What matters to you most? Spirituality was a 10. I have scrupulosity, OCD. Friendships, social relationships, 10. Barely had any friends. I feel like they do this to see what exactly is affecting your OCD, because as you can see, spirituality for me was a 10, and I have scrupulosity, OCD. I was terrified of losing people that I cared about. Physical well-being. I was fully in an eating disorders. On this sheet, they give you a list of values because OCD tries to target the things that you care about the most and want the most. So let's say, you know, one of my list of values is honesty. My OCD would target that and find every single reason to convince me that I'm actually a liar and I'm a bad person and I actually don't value honesty at all. That I've, you know, secretly cheated on my partner and didn't tell them, or I secretly lied to my parents and just didn't remember, you know, those type of things. And, you know, for me, somebody who has scrupulosity, OCD, if I value trying to be a good person and like not wanting to hurt people I care about, my OCD will find every single instance of where I did do that and why it's proven that I'm actually not a good person, you know, stuff like that. This is a worksheet about having radical acceptance. What has to be accepted? Reality is as it is. The facts about past and present are all facts, even if you don't like them. Love that. This was my class sheet. So basically at 8:30 we'd have our group meeting, and then at 9 I'd have my CBT. 10 I'd have identifying negative automatic thoughts. At 11 I'd have introduction to CBT. 1 introduction to DBT. 2 mindfulness 1, and then I think at 3 we were done. And then I'd have different courses every day, but that was like what my Monday looked like. I kind of forgot about all of this. This is my avoidance hierarchy. Basically the things that triggered me the most at this time. I did not write this, so somebody wrote this for me. It's not my handwriting, but religion, bad religion was at 100%. Death of people that I love and care about was 80%. Cancer, what if I get cancer? Somebody I care about gets cancer, 80%. Nuclear war at 50%. Being kidnapped was 20%. Black hole, meteor space was 10%. Mind you, this hierarchy was just at this specific point in time. All of these had their place at the top, or at 90%, 80%, 100%. It was just when I was in the hospital, this was my ranking of it at that time, where my obsessions were mostly going towards. We did a lot of work trying to find our core beliefs, once again, to just show that we're not these horrible people that we think that we are. Oh, wait, these were the cards that I was given when I left. I forgot about these. I always joke and say that the first time I felt normal was like in a mental hospital. The first place I actually like really felt like myself. It was because I just didn't feel crazy because there were so many people like me. Now, given the situation, I felt really comforted because I was like, these are such great people. And if I think that they're so great, maybe there's hope for me, you know, kind of thing. So yeah, that was a really good experience for me. I just found my relapse prevention plan. The shortest sentences. What are my triggers? Religious things, death, noise. Noise. I have ADHD and I'm super sound sensitive, light sensitive, all of that stuff. So those things would really it would freak me out so much, or like annoy me so much, that I would feel like there would need to be followed by like a compulsion to cancel out that horrific sound. Breathing, ERP, feel stressed. God, feel free to elaborate. Oh my gosh. Stop. All right. Okay. Oh God, I just really didn't want to jinx anything. I was feeling so good. Looking at this stuff is kind of sad because I like literally remember going through all of this. Another value sheet. Gotta love it. This one, impulse control assessment. My primary triggers when people speak. Sick. All right, that's all the important stuff. Thank you for going through that with me. I always say exposure therapy didn't give me my life back. Exposure therapy gave me a life. If you think that you're too far gone, you are not. I was literally in a mental hospital, and look where I am today, 8 years later, running my own business. I moved abroad twice. I have an incredible group of friends. I love my family. I'm able to travel the world. If you want that, go to NOCD.com. You can also book a free consultation call with them. Thank you so much for going through my notes with me.